Okay, today I'm going to be talking about homophones. What are homophones? First, I'm going to read this poem, and while I am reading, you can make some observations. If you have any questions, just wait till I am done reading and I will answer them. And if I don't get to answer your question immediately after the poem, they will be answered during the lesson. Okay, this poem is called I'm All Mixed Up. I'm all mixed up. I need help from you. How do I know why the sky is blue? I do not know. I wish I knew. Is my sister age 4 or 2? I am named Marie. She is named B. We eat red berries by the water at the sea. I have a lot of work to do. I'll sew a button on the coat that you wear. I'll sit on that chair. I'll wait right over there. I'm all mixed up. I need help from you. Can you choose the right words? See what you can do. Okay, so is there anything that you noticed um dur- uh is there anything that you noticed in the poem? Yes, you may have noticed that there are words that are in bold and there's two of them right next to each other with a slash. These words are called homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same, they're spelled differently, and they have different meanings. For example, the words flower and flower. Notice how they sound the same, but they are spelled differently. Flour, spelled Flour, is an ingredient used to make cakes, bread, muffins, and many other kinds of foods and pastries. The word flower, spelled Flwer, is a plant, just like I have pictured here. Homophones and context. Context is very important when working with homophones. Without it, we wouldn't know what homophone, we wouldn't know what word to use in our writing, while reading, or even speaking. Context is the circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea. Basically, context is what helps us understand what we're reading. Context is like the background knowledge that you learn or take away from the reading or the story. It's what helps you understand the whole idea. Okay, we are going to look at this third line from the poem. It says, "How do I know?" We have to use the context in the sentence and from the words in order to help us pick the correct homophone. It's either going to be no, spelled N-O, or no, K-N-O-W. The context here is that we see that it is a question. How do I know? That is the context of the sentence. The context of the words we're going to look at right now. The word no, is a negative response to a question. For example, if I were to ask, do you have any pets at home? You're either going to tell me yes or no. Now, the word no, spelled K-N-O-W, it means to be aware or to have knowledge of something, to know about something. So, now that we have figured out the context of the words and the sentence, we know that the correct choice is no, spelled K-N-O-W. Okay, we're now going to do an activity similar to what I just did with the sentence, how do I know? Except you guys are going to choose what you think is correct before I am able to explain the context. Okay, why is the sky blue? if you want to choose the first blue, you're going to put up one finger, and if you want to choose the second option, blue, you are going to put up two fingers. Okay, so why is the sky blue? Reread it, say it in your head, try to figure out the context, and choose either the first option blue or the second option blue. If you would like to change your answer and look at these images that I have put here, now is the time to do so. Option 1 or option 2. Okay, the correct answer is option 1. Why is the sky blue? Blue spelled B-L-U-E. We know this because of the context in the sentence and the context of the words. We know that the sentence is talking about the sky. Why is the sky blue? Blue is a color. Colors are used to describe things. So if we're talking about the sky is being described as blue. B-L-U-E. We know that it's not the other word blue, B-L-E-W, because blue, spelled B-L-E-W, is the past tense of blow. As you can see here in this image, she is blowing out a candle, and we are not talking about that in this sentence. We are talking about the sky. Okay, next one. We are doing I wish I knew. Remember, one finger for the first option, two fingers for the second option. I wish I knew. Okay, if you would like to change your answer after looking at my images that I am providing, now is the time. The correct answer is option 2. So if you had option 2, you are correct. Would anyone like to give a try at letting us know the context of the sentence and the words? Okay, good. Just like I described earlier in the example I gave before we started the activity, this word knew, spelled K-N-E-W, is the past tense for the word know, which I said was to be aware or to have knowledge about something. And if we go back to our poem, we can see more context above. We know that the reader is talking about the sky. Why is the sky blue? We can read higher up to get more context. So if I read it together, how do I know why the sky is blue? I do not know. I wish I knew. So the speaker wishes to know why the sky is blue. So we know that it is this word, new, K-N-E-W, because this option, N-E-W, means for something to be introduced for the first time, something that is brand new. Like getting a gift, typically it's going to be something brand new that you don't have. Typically, sometimes you may get something not new, but in this case, new, it is new, N-E-W. Okay, so the right one, K-N-E-W. Great job. Okay, now we are going to work on this together, except you are going to tell me the context of the sentence so that I know what is the correct word to choose. So, like we know, the context can be found in the sentence, and context can also be in a word. So, the first one, I am named Marie. What is some context of the sentence that will help us to determine the right word that belongs in this sentence? Great. In this sentence, someone is named Marie. So we know that there is a person whose name is Marie. This is important context, which is going to help us to determine the right word that belongs. Yes, more context is through the words that are given to us, the options. Eye, spelled EYE, is a body part on our face, which is what we see through our eyeball, eye, and I, spelled I, it's alone, is a pronoun that refers to yourself. So, in this sentence, I am named Marie. If there's a person named Marie and they are referring to their self, this is our context that is helping us to decide what is the right word. So, knowing this, what is the right word for us to use? Great job. I, spelled I alone. I am named Marie. Good job. Moving on to the next sentence. We eat red berries. What is the context that we can get from this sentence or the words to help us pick the right word? Good job. The sentence is talking about eating berries. So we know that the right word has to do something with describing berries or be about berries. Okay, yes, red is a color. And like I said earlier, when we were talking about the sentence with the sky, colors describe things. Okay, and the word spelled READ, red, is the past tense of read. So when you read a book, after you read it, you have read the book. So, knowing our context, what is the correct the correct homophone that we can use to make the sentence make sense? Great job. We eat red berries, spelled RED, because red is a color and they are describing the berries as red. The berries are red. We eat red berries. Good job. Okay, next one. This is the last one we are doing together. By the water at the sea. What is the context of this sentence and of the words that is going to help us pick the right one? Good job. By the water at the sea. The sentence is talking about being near water. Good job. That is some context that we need to help us pick the right word. Yes, see, spelled S-E-E, is what we do with our eyes. It is one of our senses, sight. We see with our eyes. That is S-E-E. Good job. And sea, spelled S-E-A, is like the ocean. The sea is like the ocean. So, knowing our context, what is the correct word that is going to make our sentence make sense? See, spelled S-E-E, or C, spelled S-E-A. Good job. It's the word spelled S-E-A. If the sea is like the ocean, oceans have water. And if our sentence is talking about being near water, sea, spelled S-E-A, is going to make our sentence make sense. By the water at the sea. Good job. Okay, now that we did this together, and you've all done such a great job at telling me the context of the sentences, I want to see how good you are at determining the correct homophone to use. So, like we just did together, I want you to do by yourself. You are going to find the context of the sentence and of the words and then write the correct words that belong here in this third column. While working, if you need any help, don't be afraid to ask questions. I'll be here to answer them, or you can go ahead and ask some of your classmates sitting next to you for some help. Okay, so now that you've all completed picking the right words for your sentences, you have all picked the correct homophones that belong. What did we just learn? What was today's lesson about? I just said it. Yes, homophones. What are homophones? Can 3 people tell me the 3 important things that describe what homophones are? Yes, they are words that sound the same. Okay. Second one, yes, they are spelled differently. They sound the same, but they are spelled differently. Lastly, they have different meanings. So they sound the same, but they are spelled differently and they do not mean the same thing. What is something very important to help us determine the right homophone to use in a sentence? Anyone? Great. Context. Context is very important when working with homophones because there are a limited amount of homophones in the world, but I can't just teach you every single homophone right now. So the important tool to use is context. You need to read your sentences and figure out the context of it to help you determine what homophone is the right option for your sentence. Very good job.